Was one of the largest meth busts ever in Kansas City. Last week, we told you about 144 pounds of drugs found inside metal containers that were then hidden inside tires. Tonight, we're digging deeper into that case. KCTV5's Leslie Aguilar reports this case is tied to drug cartels in Mexico.
Right now, Mexican drug cartels are working all over the Kansas City metro. That's according to a Jackson County drug task force. That recent meth case gives us a small look into how that world works.
Everything that we're seeing now is controlled by the cartels in Mexico.
Dan Cummings requested we not show his face. As the officer in charge of Combat, Jackson County's drug trafficking task force, he deals with a lot of dangerous people.
About 100% of what we recover, if you follow it back far enough up the drug chain, so to speak, it comes from Mexico and it's cartel related.
Just last week, Combat worked a case at the request of Independence Police. A tip led them to this Kansas City, Missouri street, where a search warrant led to the seizure of tires filled with meth.
My guess is that's the way it was shipped from Mexico to Kansas City.
Cartels get creative when smuggling drugs in. Customs and Border Protection has a few recent examples. Fentanyl in a vehicle transmission, heroin in a gas tank, marijuana inside a car door, and cocaine inside clay figurines. Cummings says he's seeing more and more cartel-related drug busts here in Kansas City now than he has in his 35-plus years in law enforcement.
We switched from meth labs to Mexican cartel.
The suspect in this recent case told officers the people he works for would kill him if he was deported back to Mexico. He'd rather die in the U.S. because at least he'd get a funeral here. Cummings says that could very well be true. It's unclear which cartel that suspect is tied to, but Cummings says there are several of them working in the Kansas City metro. They all have a gentleman's agreement to get along here, but south of the border, there's currently a violent struggle for power and drug routes into the United States. Reporting in Kansas City, Leslie Aguilar, KCTV5 News.